With the Olympics happening already, there has been a flu going around the athletes' village. In an earlier video, I talked about how I was on Team Ontario for the Canada Games. This is way back in 2011. And something very similar happened to us. The village wasn't contained to just one hotel. I think there were 2 or 3. But the thing was, everyone kept coming into contact with each other and a flu was going around. Now, I was lucky to make it through the first week, but I was there throughout the entire 2.5 weeks of the games, and yeah, it caught up with me. And it was only like a 48 hour flu, so it affected athletes, but it didn't affect athletes throughout the rest of the games. Now, I was there as an artist, but I was still in contact with the athletes. When I was starting to show symptoms of a fever, dizziness, nausea, my team manager called a car, and the 3 of us, me, my manager, and the driver, drove us and escorted us to the Marriott in Halifax where we were staying. I kid you not, this happened because at a point they had to sequester people, whether it was staff, athletes, artists that had this flu, and they had to quarantine them. And I was quarantined in the Grand Hall. And I kid you not, I wish we had social media back then. I would have made a killing TikTok about this. But basically, they had a double bed in the middle of the Grand Ballroom, just one bed. And what happened is they would have me sleep it off for a few hours. And after a 2-3 hour power nap in which my team manager was waiting for me outside the ballroom, they would see if my symptoms would recede. And actually they did. And I had to host a pep rally for Team Ontario that day, so they really had to make sure that I was good to go, because that morning was the start of week 2, and the new athletes were coming in, and I had to host that pep rally. I had it all planned out. Team Ontario and I had already worked out what we were going to do. So it wasn't as if I could just call on somebody else. No, it lived and died by my health. So I'm there at the Marriott. They put me in this, it felt like it was out of a horror film, but there was this shining light on this bed. They dimmed it when I had finally been put to sleep. A hotel staff escorted me to the bed, and then they woke me up around 2 to 3 hours later. And I woke up, literally, they called my name. They were like, Michael, are you up? And I woke up, and they're like, listen, we have to get you out of here because now we have to switch the bed and the sheets and bring someone else in, because we have another person now that is showing symptoms, and we have to get you out to bring them in, and we have to Febreze and give it some time. And so I was like, oh, okay. But you know what? Honestly, that 2 to 3 hour power nap actually worked, and it worked for a lot of us. It was interesting, like rest and how important that was. So when I'm hearing about Cortina Milano and already a flu bug going around, I'm surprised it's happening this early, but I'm also not surprised that it's happening at all.